This is another video brought to you by the Ichiban Productions. Like, comment, subscribe. So welcome everyone, happy days are here again. We got an unusual tech review here, this time looking at some Energizer wireless colour changing LED lights. I know everyone loves a bit of colour lighting and I'm no different to that. I've got my hue lights, the strip lights, all these colour changing lights all around the house. And the one place we don't have them, which stands out, is under the kitchen cabinets. I have no intention to start drilling into the cabinets and the wall to hide wires. So these bad boys suited me down to the ground because they're completely wireless. No dangling cables having to be plugged in. It's all battery powered. You can't go wrong. I've looked online and I've seen loads of dodgy weird ones from China for slightly less than what we paid here. If you're wondering what we paid, it was a $19.99, but it was actually way cheaper in the long run. Now how was that, do you say? Because you said they're cheaper on Amazon. That's true. They're about somewhere between £12–15 on Amazon for the Chinese models of these, not the Energizer ones. But the biggest difference, what makes this one stand out, you got those batteries included. Now you can get batteries cheap of Amazon, I know that, but let's be honest, with all these batteries needed, all 18 of them, it cannot possibly be cheaper to buy the batteries and then these weird unbranded versions of these. So we went all in, got these from a lovely place called B&M Bargains, so you can go there and grab a pair or a set if you like. Let's delve in, have a closer look at the packaging. We've got the 6 lights here with buttons on the top. I assume that's to turn them on and off. Because you're lazy and you don't want to be pressing all those 6 buttons, you got yourself a remote with a battery for the remote as well. That's got to be good. All the different colours there, timer functions, multicolored, brightness on and off. Now I know what you're thinking, oh, but it's not smart controlled, and I totally agree with that. You ain't going to be working with the Alexas or the Googles. I know I'll just set your Alexa off, and I said it twice, so apologies for that. But I think if you've got an RF receiver, as I've been looking into, you could program it up and have an intermediary between the two. So you could get it working if you really wanted, if you were that particularly inclined. Taking a look at the back of the box, so not very interesting, but you've got some lovely pictures of ideas of where you can stick those lights. Nice. And then you've got the bits and bobs included. The things I did wonder is once you stick them up to those cabinets, how on earth do you get them off to replace the batteries? But it's Velcro. Nice. You can screw them into the walls if you really wanted. It's all there, don't chuck them in the bin when they're done, recycle and all that. I was pleased to see this is 2020 model, so you know it's probably up to date. You know, the box says pretty much all there is to say about it. The big question that I know you're thinking and I'm thinking is, are they any good? Well, I'm going to be the judge of that. I'm going to rip it open, plug all the batteries in, get it all set up and go, so you can see it in action and I can have some final judgments. Is it worth the price? Let's find out. Boom, cheeky edit, and we're back. That's the contents of the box. I used my Herculean strength to rip it open. No scissors, you'd be damn proud of me. But I know what you're thinking. You're looking at it, you're thinking, where are the screws and the Velcro? And I felt exactly the same. I was thinking they were jimmying me out of those. But don't you worry. I took off the back of one of these and they're hidden in there. So the full package is there. Exciting times. I'm not going to lie, the feel of the actual lights themselves, they feel quite cheap, real cheap plastic, really light, but I suppose that's what you get for the price. The only thing that really convinced me to buy these over, I suppose, those other brands, one includes the batteries, but also it's Energizer. So I don't know whereabouts you live, but Energizer here in the UK is a fairly well recognised brand, so you know generally you can trust them and they should be okay. So let's get them all plugged in, let's get them turned on and let's show you them in action. Boom, another cheeky edit, all the batteries installed. So I wanted to show you a couple of things I discovered whilst doing this. One, I was quite interested to see on the back, open and close in case you didn't know what was going on. I thought very interesting was their B&M Retail Limited. So that says to me that these were specifically made for B&M, which is probably why you can't find them anywhere else. Installation of the batteries was okay. The spring and stuff weren't the greatest inside, so it was a bit fiddly, but it was okay. Another nice little feature, I'm not sure how important it is, but you see you've got the arrow there and you've got the arrow on the back. So when you unlock them, they're not facing each other and they're locked when they face each other. I just thought it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. In terms of operation, you can simply press them, turn them on, click, that's red. Then we got green, then we got blue, then we got white light, and then we've got a dimmer white light, and then it turns off, which obviously is useful if you want to go manual and press those buttons. But I know what you're like, you're just like me. You're not going to be pressing those buttons, you're going to be using the remote. So let's check out the remote. So let's press the on button, see what happens. Whoa, that's pretty bright. I'm fairly impressed with the brightness of that. I was expecting that to be way worse. Click off. Yep, they turn off, which is good. Let's turn it on. Let's press that. Dim, bright, dim, bright. So there's 2 brightness settings. That's quite interesting to know. Obviously the timers, I won't show you those now because you ain't going to want to sit around for 4 hours to see if them turn off. But I'll let you know in a video update if they don't work. Multicolored, what does that do? Ooh, changing, so you can have that Technicolor dream experience wherever you place these lights, which is pretty good. Let's turn them off, turn them back on, goes back to white. I'm assuming these will turn to the colours we want, so we've got ourselves, ooh, no, press it on first. Then we've got some red, green, well, what colour is that? That's like dark blue, light blue. Then we've got light green, orange, pale orange, weird. That's blue. My eyesight's awful. So these are the blues. You've got dark blue, light blue, other blue, purples. You've got some sort of pink. Nice. And then we got ourselves a dark green, and we got ourselves a yellow. And there you go. So you can set the colours you like. I'm pretty impressed it works flawlessly with the remote. How long the batteries last, we will have to wait and see. But overall, you know, from the remote and the actual experience of using these, I'm fairly impressed. Couple of other things I think it's worth showing you. So obviously on the back of the lights you've got the 2 drill hole ports, which is pretty cool, and each one of these came with some standard screws and some wall plugs, so that's quite cool. We've also got the 3M Velcro. You know, if you know much about tape, 3M you know is going to stick. Most of the smart technology that's stuck up is using 3M, so you know it's going to be good. Stick one there, stick on the other side. Let's check out what the Velcro is like. Yeah, that ain't going to be falling down. Pretty impressed. Last thing I need to do now is install them in the kitchen, so stick around at the end of the video and we'll show you some footage of them installed with the colours changing. Probably do some in a little bit of daylight and then a bit of dark so you can see the actual overall effect of the brightness of the lights. In my opinion, from playing around with them I think the brightness is going to be pretty good, especially the white light particularly. Time to recap, so let's talk about the pros. The pros is this is an all-in-one package. You get everything you need to get this up and running, which is excellent. You buy those others from Amazon, you don't get the batteries. I don't know if you're going to get the sticky stuff, you know, you might not get the screws, you just don't get the full package, whereas this one you absolutely do. Other pros we've got here, the 3M sticky Velcro solves the problem for me of how do you get them off to replace the batteries. You know, that's well considered, and it's not like it's a cheap stickiness. However, will it stick? It says it's 3M, but will it stick? Only time will tell with that. I also like the fact it's an Energizer product and they're giving you Energizer batteries. Now we can argue back and forth. I can already hear you thinking, oh, but Energizer batteries aren't the greatest. No, they're not the greatest, but they're better than some of the generic unknown Poundland stuff. So at least hopefully we'll get some good battery life out of it. I like the remote, it's pretty easy to use, you know, it's not branded with Energizer other than the sticker, so, you know, you're probably seeing these with loads of other products. Now, they are RF, if you pointed at it, it works. The question is, if you block the RF, does it work? No, absolutely not. So for the remote to work, it's got to have direct line of sight of those, I would expect. Well, not direct line of sight, that's probably an over-exaggeration for me. You've just got to be able to be in the general vicinity for the RF to reach it. Oh, did you see that? Looked like that one didn't turn on then. Outrageous. So there you go. What are the cons? Well, some of the cons are perhaps some of the unknowns. The big unknowns here are how long will the batteries last? Will the sticky tape stick up to it? They're the unknowns, but you can't mark it down on the basis of it might, you just don't know. What are the physical downsides for this? One, I absolutely hated the packaging. It was a nightmare to get into. You didn't need scissors, you know, so I can respect that, but it was messy. There's just plastic and cardboard all over the floor at the moment. That's going to need tidying up, but that's just being, you know, a bit picky. Apart from that, it looks like it's going to do a good job. It's not a review if we don't put a score on it, and you know on this channel we have a 5-star rating. I'm going to have to give it a provisional star rating. So if it doesn't stand up to, you know, the tests and stuff, I will deduct some stars, but at the moment I'm going to have to give it, bang, a 5-star out of 5-star. It lives up to expectations. If anything, it's brighter than I was expecting, so that's a big positive for it. The price, $19.99. It's not bad at all for what you get, especially it's an all-inclusive package. You can just buy it off the shelf, rip it all open, plug it all in, and away you go. And for me, sometimes it's that convenience which makes it worth a couple of extra pennies and pounds than you would have done if you bought an, you know, like an Amazon alternative. So with that in mind, I just want to say a big thank you to all the subscribers. Again, I think I've gained another subscriber. I'm at 18, you know, we're in double digits, which is awesome. I'd love to go over the 20 subscriber mark. So if you've enjoyed this video and you thought it was interesting, or you've seen any of my other videos, and if in doubt, you press that subscribe button, it'd mean the absolute world to me. If you've got any questions, please post them below. If you've got any comments, again, post them below. I do pride myself on getting back to anybody that posts a comment, and I do love reading them because it means you're engaging with what I'm doing. You know, it's a big pat on the back. It says you're actually interested. You know, I absolutely love it. Thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it. Thumbs ups make a big difference to the video, so please give it a thumbs up. And if it ruins your day and you're an internet troll and you hate everything about the world, feel free to give it a thumbs down. But really, if you're going to thumbs down the video, please post a comment to explain why, what I could have done differently. It's way better that way. Bring some positivity into the world. You don't need to be negative. Positivity makes the world go round, and good things happen to good people. So be positive. You know you want to. So stick around at the end of the video to see these bad boys in action within the kitchen. And I'm going to leave you with the traditional, you know what I'm going to say. Look after yourself, take care of the people around you, and most importantly, stay out of trouble.